Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Maximus Black.
And Nova War.
And we are bringing you our semifinals of our Gold and Platinum tournament. And playing up here in the top position, we have SlugishFrame. And down bottom, we have DurtyKeyLime.
Now, up to this point, I know you guys haven't seen everything in the tournament because we, of course, are only two men, and surely doing like 128 matches would be complete suicide. DurtyKeyLime has done very well up to this point. He has displayed some very good, core gameplay mechanic knowledge, and keeps his head quite cool in tense situations. SlugishFrame, also known to be quite a good Protoss player, so this should actually be quite a good matchup. And as we've seen before on this map, Protoss is doing well. You guys haven't seen, but when we were watching this these matches when they were happening, Protoss has been kind of favored on this map just in our tournament. I don't think that there's an actual any evidence to show that Metalopolis is Protoss favored, but in this tournament, Protoss has been doing better. So I'll be interested to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, I don't know if SlugishFrame was in our first tournament or not. The name is awfully familiar.
I don't know if he was or not either.
Okay, well, I think he might have been. But anyway, okay. I've seen the guy play before.
Yes.
And like you were saying, he does know Protoss fairly well. He does have a really good opening build, so I'm very curious to see how he does in this game and in this series. I guess we can talk about the website and all this fun stuff.
We always do.
That's right. www.d2dgamer.com. There will be an annotation up top. Join us up. Join the forums. It's a place where all you day-to-day gamers can get together and just talk it over, have some fun, get some practice partners, all kinds of stuff coming out. And our website has got a whole new look to it.
Yeah, it looks a heck of a lot prettier now, and dare I say the forum pages might actually be a little bit faster than the old ones.
Yeah, the speed has definitely been upgraded.
Definitely been upgraded a little bit, but yeah, no, we are, if you do notice some weird and wonderful things happening to the site, maybe some tech problems or something like that, just have some patience, because all that is really is the guys that are basically designing and creating this website and keeping it updated on a daily and weekly basis. Are currently, like Jeff's saying, working on it, so if you notice anything that's not going to be too permanent, you can bring it to our attention in the forum if you really feel it's necessary. But if not, just let it play out and it'll probably get straightened away by itself, because there's a lot of work happening, but I'm quite excited.
Yeah, so let's get right into this game. It looks like all the boring basic stuff is out of the way, and now we're starting to get into the nitty-gritty here. The important stuff is about to happen. So I just want to take note that we are seeing a triple barracks here for DurtyKeyLime. That's going to show some aggression. So, he is going to be getting that Marine Marauder ball. That's what I assume he will be getting. That is very, very deadly against Protoss, especially when done right. If you can get the medevacs and you can get all that working together, maybe get some tank and or Thor, it is really, really tough. Basically, I just went through every single...
You want to add any more Terran units in there?
You might as well chuck in a BC.
Okay, great. All right. And I think Thor basically rip anything, so you might as well just throw them in for any purpose whatsoever. But you know what? I am seeing Stimpak go down first. That is, it's a fairly early Stimpak. That would signal to me that we probably are going to see a fairly early push from the Terran player. Maybe he's going to try and beat the Protoss to the push, because as I said before in previous games, or at least this last game that we just casted, is that the Protoss around the 7 or 8 mark does like to make their push. Terran can get in just before a Protoss push if they do it just right, and it can prevent a massive 4-gate push or a 3-gate 1 robo scenario. And so maybe that's what he's got in the back of his mind, and maybe he's thinking he'll catch the Protoss off guard at the same time.
Yeah, I want to talk about a couple of things real quick here. I want everybody to see, if you haven't really taken notice, that SlugishFrame actually got 1 gateway, then got rated Cybernex core, and then went ahead, got his warp, had his gas going, and now is starting to 4-gate up through that way. That is awesome. That's what we want to see. Another thing is, when you're Terran and you want to do that fast initial attack, when you want to go at the Protoss, at around the 7-8 minute mark and do that push before they do it, but then you have that, this area where it's all choked up, you really got to be careful of these sentries. These sentries here will ruin your day. So if I were you guys, wait till you get your orbital command. When you're going up there, when you're running up against the side here, get a quick scan off and see if you can shoot out that sentry before you actually go up and try to attack, and that way you won't be cut off in half, if you know what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, no, we've seen it happen before in other matches where, especially on this map, and this is my favorite map in more than one way as a Protoss player, simply for the ramping scenarios. There's ramps everywhere, and you can make seriously good use of them with those sentries, splitting forces, and you can pretty much win games that way as Protoss on this map. And we are seeing a quick push here coming up, and it'll be interesting to see if, just like you said, he does see if he can get up and poke his head around before making any major commitments, because if he does get up that ramp, there are a lot of sentries out for SlugishFrame right now, and if he does split, it could be a serious counter scenario, and there could be a lot of trouble.
There you go. He is putting up that scan real quick. Not really doing a whole lot of damage there. Another thing is, guys, when you are running up the sides here, unless you're planning on doing that scan, please run around here, go around the side, because you don't want to get, 4 or 5 Marines pinged off before you even get up here. And it looks like we have an attack, and that's that dreaded force field that I was talking about, keeping all those units trapped in there, and now they're outmatched, and they're all going to fall, and this could be a possible counter here for SlugishFrame.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if he doesn't counter, especially with his 3-gate up. He can get his reinforcements in very quickly. If they are not charged, he can just give them a quick chrono boost and get out and on his way. He's got a probe down there that he can throw down a proxy pylon for reinforcements should he need to do that. He is not going to do that, though. Apparently, he is going to throw down an expansion. Totally viable in this scenario. If he thinks that his opponent is worrying right now that he is going to counterattack, he knows that he's probably going to spend a whole lot of money on reinforcements to prepare for that counterattack. And so if he can get his expansion up first, he knows that he might get the economic advantage here in going into the mid-game, and that might be just as viable as a counterattack. Of course, entirely dependent on whether or not DurtyKeyLime did, in fact, prepare for that counter.
Yeah, you're totally right, Adam, and SlugishFrame is building up quite a bit of units here, and SlugishFrame just kind of does like one of those little meh faces.
I have no idea why.
And a little heart goes up for DurtyKeyLime, and it actually looks like he's expanding. Okay, so it looks like he isn't worried about a counter. I guess that's good because he's not countering here at all. I will quickly mention that SlugishFrame does have 33 probes compared to DurtyKeyLime's 23 SCVs. He's already got the economic advantage here. I don't know. I'm thinking that he should be kind of applying pressure, getting that proxy pylon down, like you said earlier, and then kind of keeping him down there and making sure this expansion doesn't go up.
Yeah, I don't know if he purposely just split his units there, or he just went and pinged them up there, and they basically split themselves. I think that might have been the scenario that just happened there. Guys, make sure you can use your shift click to your advantage there and tell your units to do very specific movement orders. As you can see, that observer is over top, getting rid of the Menk statue. Everybody hates that guy. Nobody wants to see him live. And here we go. Here's going to be a little bit of a push. This could be serious trouble. All he needs is that split. There's that split. Very nice. Allowed him to pick off a couple of units and force DurtyKeyLime to back up, but he's getting back in there. I don't agree with this decision.
Not at all. He should have ran away.
Way too many sentries on the field to allow for those splits, and all these marauders are going to go down. He is going to get some damage in, but that was not a good trade-off whatsoever for DurtyKeyLime, and if SlugishFrame was smart, he would go and counter immediately, and for the love of God, throw down a proxy pylon.
Yeah, that proxy pylon should have been out a long time ago. I really don't agree with DurtyKeyLime's play there. After he's seen all those units, he should have kept his units alive. That is very key here in the game of StarCraft. If you want to win games, you got to keep your units alive so you can use them again later.
I also hear that in order to win a game of StarCraft, you actually have to kill the opposing enemy.
That too.
That's
so
good.
In order to do that, you need units, and I really wasn't a fan of the backing off there, waiting for those force fields to kind of, fade away, and then going back in for round 2 when you know that you're outnumbered by, three times the units. And for some odd reason, SlugishFrame still...
Being sluggish, perhaps.
Yeah. He is being very sluggish right now. He is moving real slow. I have no idea why the proxy hasn't gone down. He is still running down units. This is very painful to watch. And now the bunker's going up. He has an observer here. He sees what he has. I don't know what to say. I mean, there is a siege tank up here. It would be iffy.
Does he even see the siege tank? Or he can probably just assume that thing's there.
Yeah, but I mean, he can't see it. But at this point, though, he already should have been down there, and this should have been killed.
Why did he send a stalker?
And why would you even do that?
He had an observer sitting right there. It was just, did he have something personal against that stalker? Did that stalker do something, say something bad about his